Hey everybody, we're back. We have some more tutorial and tips and tricks and everything to help start getting you on that pathway towards doing your Let's Play. So we've gone over your audio setup using Audacity, the basis of editing your audio, making your voice sound a little cleaner, a little clearer. Those basics practice. We've also gone over video capture programs. We went over about Bandicam, Dextory, Fraps. We showed kind of how those programs work and kind of how the basics of them, you need them and why you need them, how to do some things, some basic things to hopefully get you started onto that. Hopefully you've played around with that. If not, just get into it sooner or later because you're going to have to start using it. This next thing we're going to start looking at is editing your video. So obviously you've captured your audio, you have your audio tracks, you've captured your video, you have your video tracks. The next thing you're going to have to do is start working in terms of editing. Now that's not necessarily something you have to do. You could just throw your video raw up onto YouTube, and when I say raw, I mean unedited. I would not suggest that, but that's something you could do. I would say you're going to need to do some editing, nothing major. Some people do a lot of editing. Some people, will record 3 hours and they'll edit it down to the best 15 minutes they find. Some people play, 10 minutes and they throw those 10 minutes right up onto YouTube. I usually do the latter where I play a section and I do some editing, but it's a lot lighter. Just because I don't find a great draw into playing a huge amount and compressing it down a lot, because I feel like I can get more if I just keep playing and showing what I do. Now that's not necessarily what you want to do, so you're going to need to figure that out. So what type of editing programs are there? Now the major one I'd say a lot of people that do Let's Plays, and probably just a lot of people starting in general, is Sony Vegas. I do not personally use Sony Vegas, but I think a lot of people use Sony Vegas because I feel like it's an easier one to jump into and just start running off of. I could be incorrect. I do use Sony Vegas every now and then just to play around with it, but it's not my main thing. I would say it's easier for people who have never done any radio editing. But I'm used to this other program called Adobe Premiere, and using Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects. And I would definitely say Premiere and Vegas, you can swap around and do what you could do in Premiere, you could do in Vegas. But if you're going to start doing more video intensive, let's say particle effects or 3D things, if you want to do something special and creative, you're going to need Adobe After Effects. Now, that's probably not something you're going to be looking into. You more than likely just need some basic editing, and so for those programs I would suggest either looking at Vegas or Adobe Premiere. My videos, my tutorial, my walkthroughs here are probably going to be all in Premiere. That doesn't mean you can't use what you learn in that into Vegas. The same theories are going to work in either or. You just won't necessarily be capable of using the same button commands. If I say hit Control L and it does something in Premiere, it may not do anything at all in Vegas, or it may just suddenly destroy Vegas. It does not necessarily mean what you're going to learn. Shortcut commands are going to work in either or, but the basics, the theories are going to be the same. Obviously if you're editing it one way in Premiere, it's going to be the same reason you're going to be editing it in Vegas. So don't fear about that. You just really got to figure out, would you rather Vegas, would you rather Adobe Premiere? You could also use the built-in type of video editing program Windows comes with. I'm not sure what Mac does and does not come with. The one bummer about this is your video editing programs like Vegas and Adobe are going to cost you money. There's no way around that unless you're going to go out of your way and pirate it, which you very much could. I don't suggest it because it's illegal, but I mean obviously it's whatever you want to do. Nonetheless, getting Adobe Premiere, getting Sony Vegas is going to cost you a dime and then some. Unfortunately, Adobe, I do believe they have a plan. I haven't looked at it in a while. I do believe they had a plan where you could pay a monthly fee to use their program, so it might be like 50, might be here, around here somewhere on their site. There's like a feature where it's like, hey, for X dollars a month, you get to use Adobe, and then when you're done paying, you just don't have that program anymore, which I think is a lot smarter, because they were, they're going to ask a lot of money out of you, and it's not like everybody's running around with $3,000 in their pocket. I'm not saying Adobe Premiere is going to cost you $3,000, but it's going to cost you a good chunk of change. Just like Vegas, if you notice, they have different amounts you can pay for different setups of Sony Vegas, and all that good stuff there. So you're going to have to figure out what level you're going to want. You're going to need some actual basic editing. That's something. So I'd say with Sony Vegas, you probably could get away with the cheap. And I'd say cheap in a relative form, $400 one. You probably don't need the straight up suite. There's probably things in the suite you will never ever need or use. But obviously, if you have a lot of extra spare change, just burning a hole in your pocket, don't feel like you can't get those. So anyways, those are the two programs you should start looking into. They should both have demos. I know Premiere has a 30-day demo where you can use it, so at least you should be capable of getting a feel out, and if it's something you want to invest in. Like I said, I'm probably going to be showing you a lot more Premiere than I do Vegas, but if there's certain questions people have of just Vegas, I'll do my best to go into Vegas, show you how to do it in Vegas, and hopefully help you out there. All right, we'll leave it there. Like I said, check out Sony Vegas, check out Adobe Premiere, and we'll come back and do some actual more editing techniques into these guys. Later, guys.